Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us for First Class Holidays Around the World Week. We're excited to have you with us as we celebrate over 30 years of unforgettable journeys and showcase the incredible destinations and trusted supplier partners that make it all possible. This week is all about inspiration, connection, and highlighting the very best of what First Class Holidays has to offer. I'm now going to hand over to Kay from Wide Eyed Tours. Please note this session is pre-recorded, but if you have any questions, just pop them in the chat too, and we'll do our best to answer them all. If you need anything else, feel free to reach out to us at sales@fcholidays.com. Enjoy the session.
Hi everybody, hope you're well and looking forward to learning more about Southeast Asia today. As Ali said, my name is Kay Williams and I'm the sales manager for Wide Eyed Tours. We are lucky enough to be the preferred DMC of First Class Holidays for some of their Southeast Asia product. Today, I'm just going to take you through a whistle-stop tour of a couple of the destinations, focusing on a Vietnam tour and also one for Cambodia, and just highlight what the differences are. First of all, I just wanted to touch on why you would use First Class Holidays for Asia, because obviously it's a newbie to their portfolio, but they are giving the same high quality of service as they do to all their other destinations. Working with Wide Eyed Tours, they're offering bespoke and personalized tailor-made quotations. So we are able as a team to offer you pretty much anything that your client requires. The more information you can give the team, the more they give to our local team, and then we can really put something together in a quick and efficient manner and also work to your client's requirements. It might be that they really like cooking, or they're very into history, or they just want a bit of relaxation and a spa and a bit of golf. Nothing is too much trouble. So please don't hesitate to give us as much information. You are the experts in your clients. So please, share that info with us. So First Class Holidays have chosen to work with Wide Eyed Tours as we are a leading local DMC, and we pride ourselves on the quality and prompt of response. The difference with Wide Eyed Tours that you will get is that we offer almost a concierge service for your clients. Now, concierge is something that's bounced around a lot in the market. But what that means is the consultant who the team at First Class Holidays are working with will also be liaising with your clients directly. So they're making sure that that client is having an absolutely amazing time. They'll be checking in on them. They'll be letting them know where their pickup is each day. They're constantly in touch. So this means, should they want to know where's the best restaurant to go to tonight, or where should they go for a really good beer, the agents can let them know instantly. If they get lost, all these little things, they can help them out with a quick WhatsApp message, and it just means the level of service is really high. Quality is at the forefront of all that we do. So we always want your clients to be happy. And that's similar to First Class Holidays. We are making sure that your clients are having the best time. They're going to come away and they're going to say, wow, what an amazing trip that was, because that only benefits you, benefits First Class, and then it benefits us as well. We don't just use the chain hotels, but we also use the local boutique properties, which offer the highest of qualities. You have some fantastic hotels in Southeast Asia, and you have some really charming properties. I mean, there's a property in Hanoi, for instance, called the Tirant. I would challenge you to name a good 4-star property in London or in the UK where the concierge service will know every single client that walks in the door. In the Tirant, they will always say, "Oh, hi, Mrs. Williams. How was your day? Where are you off to today?" There really is that high level of service and knowledge. Some of the hotels will also give their WhatsApp service to make sure that the clients are really happy. So it really is high quality in Southeast Asia. As I say, we are the local support for when your customers are in destination, and we offer authentic local experiences. It's the experiences that people remember. This is what they're going to talk about to their families and friends. Oh, I met such and such and I had dinner. You go on a Jeep ride. Oh, did you do this? Oh, these are the things they're going to say time and time again. Wide Eyed Tours has a B2B focus, so similar to First Class Holidays, we're not going to be poaching your customers directly. So you have a great opportunity to really form a partnership through working through First Class and ourselves. And we get amazing reviews from the customers who've used First Class and their DMC. One that came through the other day was, wow, First Class Holidays, you were the only ones that really listened to our clients and understood what they wanted. This is just, we can't ask for reviews like that. This is because First Class have obviously given us a fantastic brief, and also we were able to then turn that around into a tour that the clients were super happy about and booked. We're just a small DMC, so we're not working with the world, and this allows us to have some points of differentiation, and this allows First Class to have points of differentiation from the competition. So if you've got a quote and the clients have been shopping around, you can come to First Class and they will be able to put something slightly different in there to make you stand out above the crowd. And we're not designing non-stop tours. It is a holiday and an experience, not just a tick box. Yes, of course, your clients want to see the highlights, but we don't want them to be exhausted after the journey and to need another holiday to get over it. So we will always offer balanced itineraries, making sure that they have a relaxation, that they have nice properties with pools if that's what they want, making sure that, they've got time to appreciate what they're actually seeing. So as I say, what we need from you is as much information about your customers as possible. As I say, you are the experts. Budget if possible with flights, property style that they like, and the ratio of activity to relaxation. The more information, the better we can do. So moving on to some details about the countries. So Vietnam, as you can see, is a super long country. We recommend a minimum of 10 to 14 days just to see Vietnam alone. Anything shorter than that, they are going to be on a whistle-stop tour and they're not going to appreciate it as much. Obviously, if they're doing a multi-destination itinerary, then we can tailor-make it so that they just see parts of the country. They don't have to see the whole country in one go. This also means that they will need internal flights or trains as transportation at some point during their journey, but all this will be provided by First Class. It also means that the country is split into various weather zones. So as you can see from this chart, you've got the north, you've got the central and the south. And we do have a saying that it is always raining somewhere in Southeast Asia at some point, but we like to call the rainy season green season. And the reason is because that's often when the flowers come out, everything's flourishing. And, rain in Southeast Asia can be like a hot bath. It's warm, it goes on for about an hour and a half and then it passes. I always say, for instance, in July and August in the north, where there is a high chance of rain, it's also a fantastic opportunity for your skin because it is so humid that actually you get a fantastic sauna as well. So what the team will do is they will advise you on what the best time for each place. So if your client comes through, for instance, and says in November they want to stay in Hoi An on the beach, the First Class team and ourselves will be advising you, are you sure that is what your clients want to do? We would recommend maybe Phu Quoc or Munay, and to stay in the south as their beach extension so that they do get that sun and they can lounge on the lounges and enjoy the beach. So as I say, it's quite complicated, but don't worry. You don't have to be an expert because that's what the First Class Holidays team and ourselves are. So we are here to help you and we can make you look like the experts. So one of the itineraries I'm going to go through today is the Vietnam in style. So the two itineraries I've chosen to have a look at today are quite different. So I wanted to kind of highlight how you can see little different things and where they really stand out. So this tour takes in Hanoi, Halong Bay, Hoi An, Quy Nhon, Saigon, and then down to the Mekong Delta. Saigon is also known as Ho Chi Minh City. So if I mix the two, don't worry, that's what I'm referring to. The tour gives a great option of seeing some of the key highlights, but also seeing it quite in luxury style. So you start off in Hanoi and you do a Vespa tour. This can also be done by Jeep, so don't panic. If your clients are not keen on getting on the back of a Vespa, it's not a problem at all. One thing that Vietnam has is a diverse selection of transportation. So don't ever think, oh goodness, it's got to be a motorbike. It's just that the Vietnamese love a motorbike. And actually, there can be no better way of seeing a destination than going pillion on a Vespa. It is a fantastic way to really experience, because you not only see things, you smell, you feel, and your senses are just going in overdrive. My daughter is 11 years old, and I thought, oh gosh, do I put her on at the back of a Vespa? By the end of my holiday last year, she wanted to go on a Vespa every time rather than going in a vehicle. And she would just sit there, her hands in the air. She was really confident, phone out. And it is a little bit scary in the beginning, but I promise you, these people really look after you. So it can be a great experience. So that's Hanoi, and you get to see some of the really key sites. You get to see the markets, the temples, the opera house. You'll get to see Ho Chi Minh's mausoleum from the outside, and also your clients will get taken to the iconic train street. So if your clients want to see a train past their nose, it is a great place to go and visit, and it's also a fantastic tour. Then this tour goes on to Halong Bay. Now, with Halong Bay, there are multiple bays. And with first class holidays, generally we recommend trips that go out of Lan Ha Bay, because this is slightly deeper into the bay. So this gives you your clients a fantastic opportunity to get away from a bit of the hustle and bustle and also see less boats. So they will dive deeper into the bay and they will get to cruise along on Halong Bay overnight. Cruises are also available for 2 nights. They can be anything from 2 people all the way up to 32 people. This is where the information really comes in. And as I say, First Class will bespoke, and this is just a sample itinerary. They will be able to tailor make it to your client's exact requirements. So from Halong, they will go back to Hanoi, and then they will go they will fly down to Hoi An, which is in the center of the country. They will have a free day, relaxation, and then the next day they go on a cycle tour. Again, if your clients are not keen on cycling, don't worry. They can do lots of different things. Hoi An is the center of things. You can go to the Golden Hand Bridge. So if your clients are Instagrammers, they might want to go and stand between the 2 iconic hands. They might be into history, and so there's Marble Mountain. They might want to go out into the countryside, which this tour does on the back of a bike, but you can also do it in a Jeep, you can do it on a Vespa, you can do it in a little car. There's lots of things that you can do. On this particular tour, they go to Tra Keo Village, which is like a little farm, and it's fantastic because you have the opportunity of collecting the vegetables with the local people. You get to cook, you get to learn about how they farm, and it's fascinating because Vietnam is still one of these countries where, yes, the ladies do farm in the conical hats. That's not just for tourism. They still do everything by hand pretty much, or they have the buffalo grinding the floor, and you will see them ploughing in that way. Many of the farmers will not have sprinklers. You'll still see people watering their crops by hand. It's really quite fascinating. And Tra Keo Village is lovely. There's also the ladies there that will give you a little foot massage just in case you've been walking too much during your trip. Now, the really exciting part of this trip afterwards is that it goes to Quy Nhon. And this is quite an emerging destination. And on this trip, we're using the Vitage train. And I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes a picture of the train, and it's fabulous. It is a new luxury train which is going from Da Nang down to Quy Nhon and Quy Nhon back to Da Nang. And it's beautiful. You get a high tea, drinks. Oh, our sales manager's just been on it with her family, and it just looked amazing. And then once you arrive into Quy Nhon, you have the option of relaxation, staying by the beach. The train is actually operated by the Anantara Group, so you can imagine the quality that it is. But also in Quy Nhon, you can stay at the Anantara, the Avani. There's lots of different properties that you can choose from. Then from Quy Nhon, we're moving on to Ho Chi Minh City, which is obviously a major hustle and bustling city. And you get to visit the Chu Chi tunnels, learn a little bit more about the Vietnam War. And then the other really exciting part of this tour is that then we get to take you for a night in the Mekong Delta. So the Mekong Delta is obviously, there's lots of markets going on. It's really beautiful, and it's an escape from the hustle and bustle. So you really can, your clients can really experience something slightly different by staying there overnight, listening to folk music, seeing things, just taking a bike and cycling off down the road. It really is up to them. And then this tour will take you back to Ho Chi Minh City. So these pictures just give you an idea of the cities that I was talking about. So this is Hanoi. I always say the first challenge of Hanoi is learning to cross the road because there's so many motorbikes. Fantastic city. It's on a crisscross, so really good for clients to wander around. At the weekends, you have a fantastic night market as well. Then you've got the bays of Vietnam. So as you can see here, beautiful UNESCO, and you've got some fantastic karst mountains. And this is the map. So as you can see, Lan Ha Bay is there on the bottom, and that's how deep some of the cruises will go into, rather than just staying in the high part of Halong Bay. Hoi An, beautiful city. You've got the beaches, you've got the old town, you've got these amazing lanterns. You really have some fantastic scenery around. Hoi An is one of my favorite places just because the food, you can get a coat made for about £10. I mean, who doesn't want bespoke clothing made for them? And then this is the beautiful train, as you can see, all very luxurious. It's a 5-star experience, but absolutely fantastic. We recommend the Da Nang to Quy Nhon route because it actually takes in the daytime and you will really get to see the scenery. If you do it on Quy Nhon back to Da Nang, it arrives quite late at night back into Da Nang, and you don't get the full daylight version. So, you know, Da Nang to Quy Nhon and then Quy Nhon to Nha Trang, it's probably the better of the two if your clients are interested. And then you've got the beautiful Ho Chi Minh City. So this is just the skyline, obviously, but it's a fantastic city, really lots going on. They have a book street. You can go into an old cathedral. The post office still sends faxes. I mean, some of you may not even know what a fax is. It really is a little bit of an experience. So moving on into Cambodia. Cambodia has become a destination in its own right, and we were very excited that First Class Holidays wanted to focus on Cambodia as much as Vietnam. It doesn't have to just be an extension to Vietnam, but of course, if your clients are short for time, it can be too, no problem at all. As you can see, Cambodia is a little bit smaller, and they only have 2 weather zones, which is always a little bit easier. So you've got the central and the north, and then the beaches. Yes, Cambodia has some fantastic beaches and islands. So the tour I've chosen to talk about is Cambodia in depth. Again, I've chosen one of the tours that's a little bit more different and gives you a bit of a point of differentiation. This tour starts in Phnom Penh. So if your clients are, if your clients have actually got 30 days, they could easily combine a Vietnam and a Cambodia tour and do a river cruise in between. Lots of different options. Phnom Penh is the historic element of Cambodia. It is where you see the slightly darker side of the tourism because there is a lot of history and a lot about the war. So you have places like the Genocide Museum, Tuan Sang and S21 and the Killing Fields. This is normally about half a day to a day. It's quite good sometimes to start it in the tour because then as they move on through Cambodia, you will find that people will then reflect, think about it. But the saddest part of the history is done in the beginning. Phnom Penh also has a beautiful royal palace, lots of lovely restaurants, and a bustling river. So it has lots to do and see, and you don't have to focus on the sad history. This tour then excitingly goes out to the Cardamom Tented Camp, which is in Koh Kong. Now, this is quite a different destination for clients. There's a 30-minute boat ride down the river, and then you reach the tented accommodation, and it's all about conservation projects. You get to go out into the forest and really learn about the local conservation, about the animals, about what they're doing to avoid the logging, all those kind of things. So it's a really exciting place to be. There's also a zip wire, or if you're not into adventure, you can just relax by the river with a gin and tonic and a book. Why not? Who wouldn't want to do that? but it was a really interesting place to go and visit. Then this tour takes you out to Battambang, which is a lovely rural city. This is where you really can get to meet people. So in Battambang, we have a gentleman who opens up his house. You can go out for dinner with him, him and his family, and he will tell you the stories. And as I say, this is what your clients are going to remember. They're going to remember meeting people. They're going to remember the stories and the history. So he will tell stories about the Cambodian War and Pol Pot's regime, but he will also put it in a really fun way. There's also the opportunity to go out on a tuk-tuk tour, which is a fantastic way to see the city. You see the countryside, you see the traditional products, so you get to try local noodles being made, spring rolls. You get to go to the fish paste factory, you can try the local rice wine. And then at the end of the day, if anybody saw Race Across the World, not this series, but the last one, you get taken to the Bat Cave. So you see thousands and thousands of bats streaming out of the cave, and it goes on for a good 20 minutes. I've never seen so many bats in my life, but it's really quite fascinating. And then, so that's Battambang. And then at the end of this tour, you get to go to Siem Reap. And this is a fantastic place to finish in Cambodia because the hotels are absolutely gorgeous. And the way we've done it is we try and balance so that people don't get templed out. You know, you can only see so many temples. The Angkor Wat complex is actually a group of temples rather than just being one. So you normally would see Angkor Thom, and Ta Prohm. Now, Ta Prohm is the Tomb Raider temple, so you will also get to see some really interesting different types of temple. And then this tour takes you out to Beng Melia as well, which is one of the slightly different temples. It's further out of the city, but it really is an exciting temple to see. So it really does get people to see a different side of Cambodia as well. And then it also goes up to the Kulin Mountain National Park, which you can do as a walk. You can go swimming in the cool waters, or there also is an ethical elephant park if your clients are interested in seeing elephants in their environment. And you just follow them through the forests and get to know more about the elephants. And then this tour departs Siem Reap. So again, I'm just going to showcase you some of the pictures. So you've got Phnom Penh, and as I say, some of the iconic palaces, and also the killing fields there. You've got this beautiful tented camp. I mean, I haven't been lucky enough to go, but I feel like it might be on my bucket list now. It just looks amazing. And then Battambang. This is, you might think, what is this picture? This is the train that you get to go on. So you sit on this train and it goes speeding down the track at about 30 miles an hour. And then at the end of the track, they pick this up, put it to the side, and then the real train comes along, and then you come and do it the other way. It may sound like a really random excursion, but actually it's so much fun because you're taking in the countryside, you're seeing what's about, and you're doing it in such a unique way that you can't help but laugh. And it's something, as I say, people will talk about all the time. Beautiful Siem Reap. We recommend at least 3 to 4 days here because there is so much to see and do. Obviously, the itineraries that we've gone through haven't got everything. There is other fantastic things like the Far Circus. There's a Popo, which is the rats that go out and look for landmines. There is really lots of opportunities and things for people to see in Siem Reap. And it doesn't matter whether it's families, older people, we can tailor make it to the client's requirements. And then, as I mentioned, it's not actually on this tour, but Cambodia has some beautiful islands. So you can always extend, your clients can extend out to these lovely islands. You've got Koh Rong, Koh Rong Son, and also Koh Rusi, which is where Six Senses and Songsara. So you have some fantastic opportunities if they just want to relax, reflect, and think about all the amazing things that they've seen. This is a great option at the end. So, as I say, this is just a snapshot of what we're doing with First Class Holidays in Southeast Asia. We're also working with them in Thailand and Laos. They can bespoke and tailor make anything that you require. Please don't hesitate to contact them and the team. And we look forward to hearing from you.